New Year, same soul. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the traveling voice of pro wrestling, Mike Shadow, and once again here to call the Soul action and making his way to the ring, starting the show, the Soul World Champion, Austin Graves. Last week in our main event, Austin Graves was the mystery tag team partner to the aid of Jay Madison, where both the champion and former number one contender teamed up to try to take on the new pairing of Eddie Sabin and Christian Payne. But in a surprising result, Eddie Sabin walked into the match and pinned the world's champion, and you gotta imagine that result is gonna be laying in the mind of our champion. You gotta assume Austin Graves is here to come in and talk about what happened last week. Let's hear from the Soul World Champion, Austin Graves.
I don't want to waste any time. Last week I came up short. I got caught in the midst of a war I've been fighting for far too long. But as the fighting champion I've always strived to be, I'd be a disgrace to the integrity of the title if I didn't compete against those who have earned their shot. Last episode, I was the one staring up at the bright lights, and as much as I don't like the guy, he pinned the world champion, and that guarantees him a shot. Sabin, for the very first time, let's talk face to face in the middle of this ring.
And just like I predicted, I can't say I'm entirely surprised, but Austin Graves willing to do arguably the right thing by putting his championship up on the line against anybody who defeats him. And in this case, Eddie Sabin being the man who got the victory last week, offering up the challenge, and you would have to assume that Eddie Sabin is going to take this opportunity. He is going to challenge for the World Championship. I mean, even when he was challenging for the Interim Duos Championships, the whole goal was to get back to the World's Championship, and in one night he was able to turn that around. So for Eddie, this has to be a great backdoor way in to get himself back in the world title contention and overstep Jay Madison, Christian Payne, Pat Stacey, and others who have been chasing the championship recently. A lot to play for, of course. Eddie has been trying to get his group to gain gold recently. What a great opportunity to do so. I'm sure Fletcher will be thrilled about that, considering he was getting choked out not too long ago. An intense stare down here between champion and you got to imagine challenger. What the hell's going to happen between these two?
Well, congratulations, Eddie. You got the job done last week, even if you and Christian had to pull some strings to do it. But I'm not here to make excuses. You know that's not how I operate. That's one of the ways we're different, in fact. Regardless, me and you for the world title. What do you say?
It's funny, it's almost like I told you we'd end up here. Oh, that's right, I did. All those months ago when you were still champion before the Soul Summit took your smile. I told you I'd come for that title on my time, not yours. Graves, you are the Soul World Champion only because I allow it. You have the illusion of a fighting champion. To me, you're just a pawn on the board. And now it appears it's my time to make a move. So Sabin versus Graves for the world title, my answer is no. See Graves while you're giving speeches and kissing babies. I'm making moves. Alliances don't form for no reason, you idiot. There's always a plan. I won't be facing you for the world title. However, I will choose who does. Say hello to your next challenger.
Well, that's a shock of a situation as Eddie Sabin's decided to pass on his opportunity at the World's Championship, instead gifting it to this new alliance between him and the man coming to the ring, Christian Payne. Christian, who's been made it very clear in the last recent weeks and months that he deserves that World Championship opportunity, and felt that he kept getting overstepped in the pecking order. But now, if Eddie's allowed to do this, if he's allowed to hand his number one contendership off to Christian Payne. Christian's finally getting the one-on-one match for the world title that he feels he desperately deserves. But now the question begs itself, what the hell do these two have common ground on? Why are Christian Payne and Eddie Sabin aligned? I asked it last week, and through digging, I still haven't found any answers. So what the hell does this mean now for Austin Graves in the Soul World Championship? Because in my eyes, Graves is walking into a one-on-two situation. I guess in time we'll find out, but I guess we're going to hear now from the now believed number one contender, Christian Payne. And cocky and arrogant as always, somehow finds his way into the main event scene somehow. I guess you got to give him credit for that.
Well, you've got your shot. You're welcome. Don't screw it up. You're on your own in the title match. If you don't take the gold from Graves, then I will.
This time I won't take my eye off the ball. Austin Graves' time as a world champion is finished. I am one episode away from dethroning the greatest world champion in Soul history and etching my name into the history books forever.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Listen, remember, at the end of the day, no matter how the match goes, you made a deal with the devil. Go in there and get the job done. But when I come back around to collect your debt, I won't be taking no for an answer.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Buenos Aires, Argentina, Heather Ramirez.
Well, we just heard from Christian Payne and Eddie Sabin. It looks like the deal with the devil is Christian Payne gets his opportunity now, and Eddie Sabin looking to collect an opportunity at the world's title later. We're moving on from that women's action to start things off in the ring for Soul Episode 9. And making her way to the ring, Heather Ramirez. It would feel funny to say that we're moving on from what I believe to be the crazy of Eddie Sabin's antics, but we're right back in the fire with more someone who feels like she almost fits the bill when it comes to the league. Anyways, we move forward to that. The women in the division trying to make their claim either to the Women's World Championship or the Knockouts title. Heather Ramirez, no different from the rest, looking to get a big win and start her journey to one of the titles. But so too is her opponent.
And from Lexington, Ohio, Amber Reed.
And her opponent being indie sensation, making her debut here at Soul, Amber Reed, the Ohio native. And you gotta imagine both V. Rose and Velvet Cameron, the two current standing champions in the women's division, are going to be looking at matches like this, seeing up-and-coming talent and future contenders, going to be keeping their eye on who the next bit of competition is rising up the ranks. Let's see how these two can start making their impact on those standings. Here we go. First match underway for Soul Episode 9. And immediately, Reed being jumped on by Heather. The lockup. Setting her off into the corner. Runs in. Caught with a jumping clothesline down on the floor. Heather going to start this one in control and lands on her springboard body splash. One. No. Short kick to the back. Raparazzo trying to continue a wave of momentum. Hold on. Roll up, but didn't happen. Runs in, shotgun drop kick, doesn't take her down. And now Raparazzo gonna keep the advantage here. Got caught with a short arm lariat. Amber trying to stake her claim and down with a flatliner. We'll say, staying right on top of her. Don't know how much experience Reed has on the independents, but she is making sure Raparazzo doesn't get a moment to breathe. Staying on top of her opponent. That's Heather now, trying to get herself up in the corner. Call with a back elbow shot. Comes in. Has her. Slams her to the corner. Now going to try to pay her back. Center in the ring. Sends her off the ropes. Rolls up the opposite into a rolling elbow. And now, Heather. Repeated headbutt strikes to Amber Reed on the floor, who is defenseless. Wasn't able to protect herself there. These disrespectful shots continuing by Raparazzo. Has her down with a pile driver. Will that be enough? 1, 2. The pile driver not able to get it done, and now going to start working the neck of Reed. Going to try to continue that damage, but the pile driver is done. Reed getting to her feet. Sending her off the ropes. Oh, into the referee. Referee got in the way there, but made up for it, catching her with that flat. Reed caught her in the midsection. A couple of kicks now in return. Reed, couple in the midsection. Caught her with a short arm lariat. Good connection there, and now calling Raparazzo to her feet. Has her off the ropes. Meteor to the back of the head. Lock and key. 1, 2, 3. Amber Reed wins her debut. Quick and easy job done. Amber Reed gets this one settled quickly, and a great way to establish herself for the Seoul Women's Division. Congrats to her and to her future. We'll see how it plays out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Making their way to the ring, the Seoul Interim Duos Champions, the Precision Alliance. The duo who successfully retained their interim championships at Seoul Ride the Lightning, and they defeated the teams of Fletcher and Eddie Sabin and the Lost Angels in that 3 teams ladder match. This man in the middle of being responsible for the reason that those men retained the interim duos championships. Gotta wonder if they're going to be addressing that fact, or if the men are going to be potentially moving forward or trying to anyway of seeing who their next contender for the interim championships are. I am curious though how long this team could potentially stay interim champions before being potentially crowned non-interim, just the Seoul Duos champions. I guess we'll hear from them now.
Like taking candy from a baby. And still, your Seoul Interim Duos champions, the Precision Alliance. When is Seoul management finally going to realize that Hannibal and Destroyer aren't coming back? They tucked their tails between their legs and left with the titles. Arrow and Austin, they are the faces of this division now. They proved that when they cleared all the top duos in the division at once at Ride the Lightning. So what's next? They've beaten everyone already. It's time we drop the word interim from these gold plates and add undisputed. We told you from the beginning. We're not here to take part. We're here to take over. And now that the duos division is on its heels, maybe it's time we take these belts around the globe to seek out some better competition. Because clearly, we've already shattered the ceiling here.
Hold on there, boys. Yeah, nice job at Ride the Lightning. Have to admit, we didn't see that coming. Duos typically implies that no one has a third member in the match, but we expect no less from you. Here's the thing, Akira. The duos division has admittedly been pretty forgettable so far in Seoul history, And there's a locker room of teams that want to change that. But when you take shortcuts and scheme your way out of bad situations, those guys don't like that very much. So while I want to take down all those other duos, just as much as I want to take you guys down, there's something to be said about bonding over a common enemy.
That's Ramel Wilcox of More Ammo, who seems like he's struck an alliance with the Los Angeles. And also Jason Davis of Air Boom at ringside, and it looks like the duos division is about to have a trios altercation as all three men from different teams surrounding the Precision Alliance, and a brawl's underway. We're ready to have someone come out here and separate these six men. Just a wild fight happening. And the Precision Alliance are being taken to by all other teams here. More Ammo, Air Boom, Los Angeles, all getting their shots in. All members of different teams who want a shot at the Interim Duos Championships. Well, we had a referee out there, and even she got knocked over in this brawl. Who, if anyone, is going to come out and break this up?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 235 pounds, Rex.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after, an incredibly disturbing interruption. I'm not exactly sure what to make of what the hell we saw during the duos brawl that preceded this match. Regardless of the fact, we have to move on, and in doing so, we continue what had started last week. The best of seven not the best of seven, the best of three series that had been called out between Rex and Jordan Knight, a spat that happened on social media. And this man, Rex, the winner of the last match. So one more, and he gets a clean sweep here, and you gotta think that's what he's gonna want to accomplish in this one. But of course, now both men have a better understanding of each other. I don't think it's gonna necessarily be that easy, and traditionally, with 2 out of 3 falls matches in professional wrestling, once they've been in the ring long enough with one another, they start to understand each other better in the ring.
From Santa Fe, New Mexico, weighing in at 189 pounds, Jordan Knight.
And speaking of his opponent, Jordan Knight now making his way to the ring. These two, like I mentioned earlier, had a heated exchange over social media, which had led to the opportunity that these two have. And you gotta wonder what the winner of this series is gonna get. Of course, we'll have to wait and see when one of them does win. You'll see a lot of 2 out of 3 falls matches. A lot of them times in Mexico, but in the United States, you'll see them predominantly when 2 men continue to win one up on one another, and there needs to be a way to settle the score. It's interesting to see that in this situation, these 2 men are essentially starting their problems this way. And the only hope after this is, once things are done and settled, that both men can move on from this, rather than it escalating. But I guess only time will tell. First thing we gotta do is figure out who's winning the second match. Rex is up 1-0. Let's see if that continues as we get ready to ring the bell. Here we go. And immediately, Jordan Knight in with the Luthez press on Rex, trying to get one up back on him. After, of course, losing the last encounter. Takes over with a judo throw. Both men, you can tell based on what they're wearing, a lot of mixed martial arts influence between both guys in the ring. Probably where this stem of hatred comes from. And a bulldog at the second rope by Rex, going in for the cover for him across the face. 1, a disrespectful cover. one that we've seen established in years prior by guys like William Regal. Really just to get in the head of the opponent. Not that it's going to beat them, but so they also can't look at the ref in case they need to see when that hand is coming down, stunner off the ropes. Both men showing some athleticism early on in this one, and down to the floor goes Rex. Thought he was coming off the rope, instead over and out in front of the table. Referee giving a little discretion, and now the count starts. Continuing the fight on the outside, and Jordan gonna get Rex back in the ring. Rex wanted to get him in, but was able to stop the momentum from doing so. Captures the arm, steps over in the STO. Well executed. And a DDT. Has him hung up to the ropes. Up and down with a swinging neck breaker. In the corner, trying to get the fans behind him. Jordan, what is he looking for here? Caught him with a running knee in the corner. And springs in. We saw a couple of these last week. Springboard crossbody, 1. Now, only a 1. Gonna take a lot more to put either of these men down. Driving a couple of knees, trying to make a statement here. Is Knight. Oh, Rex got back to his feet, runs in, grabs him by the throat, and slams him on the ground like a running choke slam, if you will. And now waiting for Knight to get to his feet, down to the floor, shoulder tackle off the apron. Rex heads to the top, waiting for Knight to get to his feet, and an axe handle down to the floor. Right to the back, double arm sledge, and now Rex earlier tried getting Knight back in the ring, this time successfully doing so, trying to keep it at his pace. Has him by the neck, slams him into the corner, and now Rex fired up. Immediately gets countered, though, shouldn't have wasted his time, screaming in the face of Jordan. Knight comes off the top, and a crossbody connects. Jordan Knight loves those crossbodies. And now, both men striking away. The back elbow, stunning Knight. Off the ropes, Rex catches him with a spear. 1, 2, no. The spear could not get it done this time. Unlike last time, and down goes Jordan Knight. Stepping on the back of the leg. Up and drives the knee into the mat. Has him once again grabbing him by the neck, trying to assert his dominance over Jordan Knight, throwing him into the ropes. And get some serious whiplash from those, considering they're basically steel cables. And now moonsault connects by Rex, trying to end the series here. 1, 2, no. Tries rolling out of the ring, but Jordan instead getting in the corner, trying to get a reprieve, but Rex not going to give him a moment to do so. And now the referee admonishing Rex without getting too close, trying to choke him out, and Rex could have risked getting disqualified there. He needs to be careful. Nevertheless, has him in control. Nope, got kicked in the back of the leg. Oh, with the knee pad, a famouser coming off the rope. Knight proving his athleticism. And now has him up. GTSB. Will that be enough? 1, 2, no. Has him by the leg. Drops him down. I really thought the GTSB would have been enough. But it seems like Knight's going to need to find something else here. Has him up on the shoulders. And down with Night Valley. Will that be enough to put Rex away? 1, 2, 3, and he got him. Series all tied up at 1 apiece. And congratulations tonight. Both men at 1 win each. I guess we need a tiebreaker. I mentioned her earlier as the women's match opened the show. The sole women's world champion, V Rose, going to be making her way to the ring with Farrah Nathans. you got to assume potentially that this will have to do with the loss that the team took in the biggest duos women's match in the history of the promotion. Did I say V Rose? I apologize. I meant to say Toni Rose, the women's champion. V, the former sister of Toni, who's been trying to get a shot or get that championship away from Toni. But I'm curious now to see what's going to happen here. What's going to be on Toni's mind, of course. Soul Ride the Lightning was a big opportunity for these two, and unfortunately, somebody had to lose, and in this case, it was Toni Rose and Farrah Nathans. Let's see what the champ's got to say.
Well, V, you did it. Through pure desperation and constant tricks, you evened the score between us. You have shown us all you're willing to throw honor, your reputation, and our sisterhood into the fire for this championship. As upset as I am, I know that I'm partly the reason for that. Someone would say I stabbed you in the back when I stole your moment at Haven. In reality, I stepped out of your shadow. And that's what you'll never forgive me for. That my name will forever be synonymous and right next to yours. At Ride the Lightning, I failed at ending this. You won't be so lucky twice in a row. Whether it's you or even Kel, you'll have to pry this title from my cold, dead hands.
All right, Toni. That's enough. Ever since you've become champion, you just can't seem to stop running your mouth. I can't lie, though. It was quite a thrill putting everyone's favorite rock star down at Ride the Lightning. But unlike you, Toni, I'm not out here to reflect on the past. My future is the title, and you know that. The problem is you're worried about the wrong enemy here. This will be my final lesson to you as a sister. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, but neither of them too close.
The hell does V mean by that? Farrah Nathans just blindsided her mentor Toni Rose, caught with a knee in the corner, and now digging that heel right into the throat. What the hell's gotten into her? Gets dumped outside the ring. An official there, but seemingly not getting in the way of this. And now, Farrah dumps Toni on the announce table. Has her up and no, down with the apron power bomb. What the hell? My apologies. I just don't know what to say. After Farrah Nathans was taken under the wing of women's champion Toni Rose, and all of a sudden V somehow got in her head. Maybe it had something to do with the finish of Ride the Lightning, but Toni now not only losing that match, losing her protege in the process. I don't know what the hell to make of any of this. But the action moves forward as the League making their way to the ring.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing the League. From Little Rock, Arkansas, weighing in at 185 pounds.
Well, it looks like we're continuing with action here as Fletcher being accompanied to the ring by Eddie and the League, the children of the man who you would believe was #1 contender after what happened last week, but has decided to give his opportunity to Christian Payne. Still a situation where you can only really speculate that Eddie's trying to get Christian Payne to become world's champion. I don't believe that it's out of the kindness of his heart. But in any case, it looks like Eddie's trying to give Fletcher an opportunity here to stay in his good books after the loss in the three-way duos ladder match for the interim championship at Ride the Lightning. The last time we saw Fletcher, Sabin had him held in the air, choking him out. So it's redemption time for Fletcher, at least in the eyes of Sabin, you'd have to believe. I just can't believe what I've seen before. I'm still speechless. Going to be a tough one for Fletcher here, though, as he's getting ready to get in the ring with the man who fought for the Soul Junior Championship, Grime.
And his opponent from Hollywood, Florida, weighing in at 230 pounds, number 1, Grime.
Grime didn't complete his goal of walking out of Ride the Lightning with the Soul Junior Championship, coming up short against Matt Riddle. So now Grime walks into tonight to get the wheels turning again, to find that first victory since his return. He couldn't do it against Riddle. Now he looks to make an enemy of the league and to make an example of Fletcher. Let's see if Grime can bounce back from that loss, or if we might start seeing a downward spiral for one of Soul's favorites here tonight. Still coming out confident, so it doesn't look like in that aspect he's lost a step, but you gotta imagine the loss for the title match against Matt Riddle. It's gotta be hurting him a little bit. I guess we'll find out in time. Here we go. Fletcher immediately runs in, takes him down with a clothesline, and for Fletcher, you gotta imagine this is to keep things in the good books with Eddie Sabin, because who knows what would have happened if cameras didn't catch Fletcher and Sabin's interaction after their failure to capture the interim duos championships. We'll say Fletcher's coming in here with more of an aggressive start, which I think can only benefit him. Mongolian chop attempt, no, and this is where Grime used that size to start punishing him. Big neck breaker, and Fletcher stays down off of one move. Though I don't blame him. I mean, look at the size differential here. Grime, punishing Fletcher right now. None of these strikes looking to knock a man out. Merely just to show the difference in strength. And now has him. Oh, Jesus Christ. What a neck breaker by Grime, who heads to the top. Big man gonna fly. Elbow drop connects to the heart of Fletcher if one's even there. 1, 2, no. Oh, caught with a shot right to the liver. And now, scoop and a slam by Fletcher. Surprising strike, but Grime immediately back to his feet. Caught him with a drop kick. Trying for a surprise roll-up here. Has him pinned to the mat. Not even a 1 count. Grime had plenty of time to escape that, rather than, possibly wait for a later count to kick out to give himself a moment to breathe. He's basically telling the world he doesn't need one. Down on the floor goes Grime. Fletcher up top, frog splash to the floor. Dangerous maneuver there, but it paid off. Fletcher trying to stay on top of him. Who knows what was said to Fletcher before coming out for this match. Regardless of the fact, he's wrestling with more confidence than he was even at Ride the Lightning. At least in my opinion. Overhand shot. Has him. Uppercut to the back. We're at a 7 count, gotta be careful. Fletcher getting himself back in the ring. I don't know if it was wise to keep Grime standing though. 9. Oh, the referee telling him to get back in the ring, and luckily he does. I don't know if Fletcher's going to be happy about that one. Maybe the referee should have went for the 10 count instead of admonishing Grime. And now we're on the opposite side, right in front of the announce table. Just waiting for Fletcher. Oh, slips around. Decided not to go for whatever he was going to attempt. Fletcher stays in control now, has a hammerlock and a slap to the back of the head, and I don't know if that's smart to go after a guy like Grime like that. Oh, gut buster there. Great arm wrench into it, and now another frog splash, this time in the ring, where it's possible to win with a 3, but he's not going to go for the cover. Instead, springboard leg drop connects off the second. Caught with a jawbreaker there. Grime trying to make his way back into this one. One thing I will say that I appreciate for Grime here is that he's not paying attention to the league that's out there. You might want to keep your eyes in the back of your head with them around, but he's not letting the presence distract him as he focuses on Fletcher. Combination offense. Right to the chop block, and down goes Grime going after the leg. Cover. 1. Not even a 2. And Eddie Sabin can't believe it. Eddie's starting to get more furious than Fletcher is. And now, gets to his feet, shoulder tackle, almost slammed into his sister on the outside. Now, I don't know if the referee was distracted there. She got a free shot in on Grime, and now, oh, the ref throwing Eddie Sabin out of this match. Ejecting Sabin from ringside. Now the referee's starting to count. I can't believe that. Clearly the ref saw something I may have missed in that momentary lapse. Oh, she tried to grab Grime, but didn't work. She could have gotten ejected there as well. Fletcher. Oh, nice. Has it 1, 2 in that hatchplex? No. Now what's Fletcher going to do? I think he's just noticed that Sabin's no longer at ringside. And the elbow drop, oh my god, across the face, rather than traditionally on the chest. And now, to the top, flies in, crossbody connects. Will it be enough? He's trying to stay on him. 1, 2, no. Fletcher's starting to reel here. He can't let this get to him. Went for a swing and a miss. And then went to the midsection by Grime, who's now got him, I think, by the hair. Throws him in. Oh, big elbow. And you keep rebounding into those elbows right into the kidneys. Up and inverted power slam. Jesus Christ. That's something you can only do to a man with a massive size differential. And Grime proving there why he might be one of the strongest guys on the roster. Right to the face. Continuing to punish. Fletcher has the arm to the back of the head. And maybe gonna use some tricks that he learned from Riddle during their match at Ride the Lightning. Very MMA-esque. And now ROI incoming, and he got him, dumps him on his head way too far, at least for his reach away from the ropes. 2. Grime got him.
Your winner, number 1, Grime.
Just look at him. Grime doesn't even look like he broke much of a sweat. I'm still curious as to what the call was that got Eddie Sabin ejected, but regardless, a hell of a match.
Making his way to the ring from Cocoa Beach, Florida, weighing in at 206 pounds, Pat Stanley.
Pat Stacey making his way to the ring for what could very well be one of the most punishing matches coming into the new year. One of the most dangerous matches to start the new year off here in Seoul, with former Badmouth faction member Jay Madison, as we come into tonight's main event in an ambulance match. Ironically enough, I think it's something Pat Stacey should be looking into, is going back to the hospital, because ever since he had that concussion, the artist formerly known as Danny Ha, now believes his name to be Pat Stacey, has undergone a An interesting transformation, to say the least. This guy's become more unhinged since the injury.
And his opponent from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing in at 231 pounds, Jay Madison.
Gonna have a hell of an opponent tonight, as Jay Madison was so close to becoming the Soul World Champion, something he's been chasing for a long time. Of course, a lot of controversy happened recently. Pat Stacey deciding to get himself involved. Christian Payne, a lot of men throwing their names into the world title picture, but all at the cost and behest of Jay Madison, who's been chasing that title for so long now. One of the foundational members in building this company. Now, Madison might not get another opportunity for who knows how long at that World's Championship. But if Pat Stacey is the man who he can beat, who he can start that ride one more time for one more opportunity at the World's Championship, well, Jay can't really say no at this point. If he wants the gold that Austin Graves has tonight, he needs to put down a man who he used to call a brother in arms. You have to put down, well, in this case, he's looking at Pat Stacey, but his former brother, Danny Ha. Let's see if Jay's willing to put it all on the line.
The following contest is an ambulance match. There are no pinfalls, submissions, disqualifications, or countouts. The only way to win is for a superstar to force their opponent into the ambulance by any means necessary. After closing both doors, the remaining superstar will be declared the winner. Now, let the match begin!
The crowd excited for violence. Pat's ready to go. Jay is as well. Here we go. You heard the rules. One member of this match needs to be forced into the ambulance, both doors being closed to shut them in and declare themselves the winner. Both guys, like I had mentioned, Jay Madison was quite literally just the #1 contender at the pay-per-view for Pat Stacey. Christian Payne got themselves involved, costing Madison the match. And now in a situation where one of these guys who wins this match could potentially be looking at themselves as the next contender between either Austin Graves or, I guess in this instance, Christian Payne. A lot of guys fighting for that top spot, but Pat Stacey and Jay Madison going at it. Down he goes on the shoulder. Madison, now working on the arm. The problem with it being an ambulance match, the only rules being to getting one another into the ambulance. That means there's no rules, no countouts. They can fight outside here as long as they need to try to force the other into the ambulance. There's also weapon usage is allowed. There won't be any disqualifications, considering the fact, which makes this even more dangerous. Down on the floor, as an armbar being locked in, Madison trying to escape, which means even something as big as the ambulance can be used as a weapon in this one, and that's where things are going to become dangerous. And Pat trying to snap the arm of Jay Madison. A man with a completely different personality doesn't see Madison in the same light he would have as a man formerly in a group, like I said, a brother in arms. And Pat just going out of his way to punish Madison here. This feels vengeful. There's still a part of me that really doesn't believe Pat Stacey. I feel like he's doing what he's doing to get some unrequited revenge from the old partnership between these two. I don't know the history that deeply because I've only just come in recent time. But the door is now opening. Suicide dive, and Pat's head bounced off the ambulance. Has him. Ripcord forearm. And Madison could have very well just put him right in there. Ripcord lariat connects. This is dangerous. Pat's getting real close to that ambulance. The last thing you want to do is go crashing into it, because that's going to really leave a mark. But he has opened the doors. There's only really 2 steps left. Throw one of the guys in there, close the doors, and send him off. But Jay, fighting for his life right now, and now trying to send Pat away for now. I mentioned before, weapons could come in hand here. Sledgehammer in hand. Runs in. Oh, caught him low. Maybe Madison has no love lost for the man who cost him the World's Championship. Would Danny have done the same thing? I don't know. But what I do know is Madison with those repeated kidney shots with a sledgehammer. Oh, throwing him towards an ambulance. I think Pat's trying to get this one done and over with. Maybe regretting his decision to cross Madison here. Multiple strikes connecting. Oh, caught him with the liver shot. That's an easier way to shut a man down. Has him dragging him towards the ambulance. Smacks his head off that ambulance floor, all metal. And now throws Pat in there. All he's got to do is close the doors. Oh, there's a fight happening now. Who's going to come out on top? Pat's trying to stop the door from being closed. Oh, and he smacks it right into the face of Jay. And that's going to leave a mark for sure. Pat on the floor. Those doors closed again for the meantime. It won't stay that way for long. Near the midsection. Whoa, rolls over, takes a rolling knee bar. I guess it's going to be hard for Jay to get out of the ambulance if he can't move his leg. Sound strategy there from Pat. And throws him back in the ring for now. It won't last that way, but considering there's no time limit, who knows how long this is going to go for. Oh, and Pat right to the spine of Jay. Pat hits a home run shot, a spear, as Jay tries to fight it back. And now has him in that triangle choke that Pat Stacy's known for. Even if Jay submits here, it's not the end of the match. He's got to drag him, even if he's out cold, into the ambulance. Jay is holding that arm. You're going to want to pay attention to that for later in the match. There's a chance that could cost Jay later in the match. Arms and legs now damaged, but hold on. Up in the air, cliffhanger by Madison. And the first thing he's doing is making sure the doors are open. Step one's been achieved. Now he's going to grab Stacy. Now he's going to get him in them. Axe handle takes him out. Similar to that home run swing that Pat had. And speaking of, grabs the bat. No love lost, straight to the skull. And the arm. Continues the assault. Oh my God. Jay letting a fury out like one I've never seen. This has been months in the making, possibly even longer than that. And now, out to the outside right in front of that ambulance. Jay looking to end this one here. Has his former faction mate. Throws him, lawn darts him into the damn ambulance. Here we go. Once again, the struggle's on. Tried his damnedest to lock him in there. Who's gonna fight this one out? Shoves him in. Has a second. No, another fight's begun. Oh, and Pat Pat able to break his way through. I thought it was over. Pat dumps him in. Fireman's carriage into the ambulance, and now we've switched sides. Pat fighting to get Jay in the ambulance. Not gonna happen. Jay feels like he's got too much to lose here. Oh, Spirit Breaker. Down he goes, and it looks like Jay feels it's going to take a little bit more to get this one done. Oh my god. That could have been it. That could have been a concussion if he had connected with that chair shot to the head. A lot of problems had surfaced in the history of pro wrestling because of chair shots to the head. But both men fighting with everything they have left. Pat and Jay going back and forth. But who the hell walks out of here the victor? Regardless, neither man will be the same. Oh, takes him down with the wrist clutch, sweeping the leg on that STO. Hell of a maneuver there. Dumps him outside the ring. And now, the ambulance only being feet away from these two. What the hell? What on earth is Pat doing now? Pat, what the hell are you doing? What are you thinking? Oh, Jay? Gonna meet him up there. Both been down in dangerous positions. Spirit Breaker! Challenged Pat and tried to throw him off the ambulance. Elbowed his head straight into the ambulance. Something's gotta... Oh my god, Pat almost fell off the damn thing again. Has him up, cliffhanger, onto the ambulance. Jay out to prove a point. Spirit Breaker. Again. Both of Jay's biggest shots. And on top of the ambulance, and another Spirit Breaker. Oh my god. And now, Jay, has him slip off the back. Pat behind. The hell's he trying for? No. Oh my god, both men. Up. Reverse DDT on the damn thing. Knee drop to the leg of Madison, I believe that was. Oh, butterfly DDT. Landing head first on the metal. And again. Almost trying to reverse the damage here is Madison. Might figure one more could change him back to the man he was. Spear off the ambulance. Oh Jesus Christ. The triangle locked in, and thankfully for both men they didn't just roll off. Jay escapes. Up on the shoulders. Madison! Oh, military press off the damn ambulance. He's down on the floor. And I can't imagine this one lasts much longer. Jay slams him in. Oh, not fully yet. Takes him. Throws him in the ambulance. All he's got to do is close both doors. Pat doesn't want to give in. Oh, look at that door slammed in his face. One last time. Does Jay have it? He's fighting him. And he's got it. It's official. Jay Madison's won the ambulance match.
Here is your winner, Jay Madison.
Madison gets some much-needed sweet revenge as he's looking to once again go towards the World's Championship. From Mike Shadow, we'll see you on the next episode of Soul. Until then, good night.